Well, you guys, I am back. It's Mel from Everything Marmy, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you all. I am back because I don't want to do anything else today. I don't. I want to spend time with my friends, even if you're from far and wide. And I what do I want to start with? Okay. I was worried about not finding. I just have to organize this desk, you guys. Please excuse me. Oh, I got a package of these. I don't know who asked me a while ago. These are on Amazon, okay, you guys? These are the clear pockets. If you're in the States, I know you can get them from Five Below. Okay, but look at, you guys, like these pockets here. I got them from Amazon. And like there's a ton in here, and why are they wrapped separately? Oh my gosh. I got them on Prime Days. Oh my god, why are they not coming out? Okay, hang on. There we go. You get a ton in here, you guys. Now, for the record, I've been trying to buy locally. Unfortunately, we all know what happened in 2020, right? So we all know that the shops, like if you have a small craft shop that carries this stuff, like if I did in my city, I'd be there because it's kind of like, yes, it comes to the door. Yes, this, yes, that. Yes, it's convenient, but I don't like the guy. I'm just going to say that right out loud, and it'll probably get me flagged, but that's why I'm not saying his name. However, I do a lot of shopping off of Amazon for convenience. So you get like these big ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 of them. You get 12 of the super big ones, okay? Then in the middle you get like smaller ones. And then I think you get like 12 B6 ones. They fit exactly on the back of the B6 book. Look. Okay. These big ones here, I think you'd have to cut them down. I mean, unless you're using like a notebook. Like, let me just, actually, I'll grab this planner here because I can always like put one in the back, right? So I'll just sacrifice one on this cover, and then that way if I want to like put stickers, or like if I have mail to take, right? So I'm going to even measure it for you guys. Let's get you guys like squared up here. So these ones are just shy of 5.5 by 8.5. 5.5 by 8.5. I'm just gonna see would that fit on there. That possibly could fit on there. Let's see. Like, I don't want to put it on and then have to pull it off, but I think it could fit on like this planner here. This is a planner that I bought a while ago. It's a Mead academic planner, and I got it at Staples. This might help get me out of my funk, you guys. It's got important dates. And it does go like all the way to, let me put the ruler down. I might hurt myself with that. Goes to September, next September. It's got contacts in the back. I think I've shown this to you guys before. But I know that, like, I was thinking it reminded me of like all those little mini cute planners that everybody was having. And I thought, you know, with ring bound, I can make inserts for it. So I might play with that. This, of course, many of you know, has a little house on it. I put some paper on it. It was just like a Dollar Tree kind of pre-planner for the monthly book. And because this is plastic on the top, okay, now I do have to try it. If this does fit on the top, oh my gosh, look at that, you guys. I can literally make it any season I want by just sliding any picture I want into there. So yeah, there's a project. Okay, and then I wanted to thank Monique too, because like I've been kind of going a little bit like mental because I've lost my oomph for life, you guys. I have. Not quite, but I'm struggling. I'm struggling with motivation, with energy, with expectations, with disappointment in myself, with a lot of things that that I know many of you are too. And I don't mind being the one that comes right out and says it. I write for mental health, not to the degree I used to. I'm not full-time anymore. But let me finish this off first, okay? So you also get these sizes here and these little ones here. And I've put these ones, I'll just grab it out of my purse. Because I carry this everywhere. Everywhere. This little Wanderings string planner. Like, you guys, I really love planners. And I really love like these Jetstream pens as well. But what I did was I put a couple of them front and back here. Okay. So I should fold that and not let everybody see. I go to an accountant. And then under here I put two more. Okay, and then my special friend Dee got me a raccoon flattened penny from Raccoon Mountain, which I carry with me always. And I continue to think that I'm going to turn this into my wallet, and I haven't yet. Let me, like, I really wish I could put those in there, but then if I took that off, and I'm going to be all over the place, you guys, because I'm just in one of these moods. I mean, don't be surprised if today you get 15 freaking videos from me. You don't have to watch them. Of course you don't. Because lately I have been up and down in my how do I say that necessarily? Like, some days I just don't want to talk. And other days, when I do talk, I feel like it comes out wrong. Now, this, unfortunately, I've hooked it around this, but you have to tighten it. So this is where I take my ruler and I really like crunch down on it. I do have like a pliers beside me, but I'm lazy. And there she is. So I do have in there like now everything. I love this little book. I carry it with me always. Just for notes and stuff. I love the patches I put on it. And like I've had comments saying, Mel, like you have more like items in a stationery store. I totally agree, you guys. And if you lived near me, I would totally set you up. Unfortunately, you don't. And sending it off costs money. So that's my issue. And it's not even so much the sending it off, because if any of you know me, I used to send off a lot of stuff all the time. But the problem is now there's flippin' forms that make it like impossible for me to do without my daughter's help. Like it's so hard. I struggle. Are they all like that? There's one that's okay. So anyway, I got this whole pack on Prime Days for $14 as opposed to $18.99 or something like that, $13.99 or anyway, it was reasonable. And I do try to find things that I use regularly on a good price if I can. Before I unplugged, and I'm going to say the A word, you guys, okay? If you have the box that plugs into the wall that responds to you, I unplugged her in my house because I didn't like it when it suddenly started talking to me in the middle of the night when I was in bed. Yeah, it kind of freaked me out, so I unplugged her. So, but that thing was rigged to let me know when all of these things were like cheap so I could buy them for cheap. The thing is, like, I already am so aware that I have more than enough and I can be creative. So, but I wanted to show you guys this because it was in the pile that I pulled from upstairs back downstairs in my attempt. Oh my gosh. And I've been trying to get to the comments, you guys. I've been trying to get to the comments. Please know, by the way, you know, beneath every comment, there's an AI answer. I don't use it. Every answer you're getting is from me. That's why it's harder for me. I want to personalize it. AI does not say AWW, as in, aw, thank you. It doesn't, okay? There's certain things that I push back against because I'm an early Gen X, okay? You've got your early Gen X's and you've got your later Gen X's, and I'm, like, I was from the letter writing type of Gen X, okay? I miss that, and I was doing that for a while. Well, I actually never, ever ended up doing that. So, I was on Instamessage with Monique, and I've been freaking out because I couldn't find the beginning part of my sorry, my cousin Avec. Here, let me just move some things out of the frame. What is going on here? Why? Let's just get some things worked out here. I actually want to do something with you guys. So I wanted to look at this book here. Okay, this is all bothering me because it's in the screen. Why are you in the screen? Sorry, you guys, I have to just fix this. So this is the water bottle I've got here. Stickers here. That's going to bother me, I know. That's... Okay, I don't want that there. Let's move you there. We'll move these up here. Okay. Well, that's it. Okay. So here's the January to June Avec of this year. And I thought I would do it this way because last year's Avec, I separated myself. But you know what? I liked it much better. And so that's why this year coming up, I'm going to do the cousin. And if I have to separate it on my own, I like doing it that way. I like the quirkiness of it. So I just wanted to see what I did because my memory, you guys, I don't even know. I don't even know what I put in here. So I'm going to just move this book out of the way too. So I guess I was going to try like doing morning pages in blue, exercise green. So I was going to do a dot system. So never did. But I don't mind it blank either. So then there's the December. I like it when I put in these little bits down at the bottom. Okay, what am I looking at here and why is it bothering me? Okay. So obviously I use Sweet Kwai Design here. And then Hubman and Chub Girl and some other things that I planned. And it was important for me to find this, you guys, because we're coming up very quick, like blink, and it'll be here to 2026. And I've been gathering some stuff for it. But I don't necessarily want to do like whole complete kits. So again, this is Sweet Kwai Design, February. And I know I have these little guys again, so it gives me an idea to look for them. There's March, April. I like the clean look of it. June. And then you could have done July. And then here's where January started. And I didn't do any of the weeks. And then it was pen to paper finally. This was supposed to be highlights and gratitudes. Didn't get to it. Okay. So here I was starting to record what was going on in the world. So right from the beginning, I would say of this year, for me, it was difficult because instead of keeping myself focused inwardly and disconnecting from what was going on, which I'm unable to do, by the way, I was recording it, taking it on, praying for it. So I just stopped. Okay. So all of the weeks are blank here. I was under the impression that if I ignored it or didn't give it any attention, it would go away. And I know that's not the case. I also know that I do as much as I can. I know my neighbors' names. I've contributed to my neighborhood. I've done up M kits. I really do make a concerted effort to do as much as I can where I am with what I've got. And yet, because I have 3 children and they've got, 2 of them have spouses, and I've got 5 grandchildren, I'm concerned. I'm worried. You know, like, what's their future going to be like? And it's not just here in Canada, it's Australia, it's the UK. So this is why I wanted to go back to this book and look. So here's January. Did I do anything in the dailies? No, it's pretty empty, you guys. Sorry, I was just reading, like, I think I was doing a lot of art back here, and that's what Monique suggested that I go back to do. She said, now go back and do some art, because it was helping me. And there's a lot of things behind the scenes that I don't share on YouTube, right? Like, like I've alluded to them, but I don't fully share them. So as you can see, this book, this beginning book, is fairly empty. Although I did do like some. A lot of paints in here, you guys. I ordered a lot of like watercolor paints. Here's February. I didn't do this. This was from one of the sketchbook notes. So I did a lot of tippets and stuff. Like this was a scrapbook, and this really is not a scrapbook. Like I know many of you, I remember this. See, I could be doing this, which is sketch my day. Because that to me is better than what I was doing. See more paints. And more. In March. So I was putting a lot of ephemera in here. So I wonder, was this when I got my Wanderings book? Could be. And then I used like just tissue and tip that in. Okay, again, this is what I like. And I did do in this book, I think I had maybe 3 days or so in the dailies where I did it like that. Although I don't know where. here. So they're basically the same, you see? I've got the line here, the main things I've done, and then, yeah, this is what my dailies I would like to see as my dailies, because A, they're in good, like a bigger print. Like I'm not following the little 0.4 millimeter square or whatever they happen to be, even though I do have the word of the day down here, but that's fine. I added that later. But even without the paint, so there's 3 there. That's ironic. And let's see how many are here. You guys see that? Again, I have to hop up and down. So basically 2. Interesting. So I did try to plan ahead. Planning ahead doesn't work for me, and I'd rather I didn't do it. I've tried it now a number of times, and to me, I'd rather have the blank pages over the stickers because it doesn't motivate me to plan. Everybody's different, but as you can see, for me, it wasn't a successful endeavor. And a lot of times I'll say, oh, I've got these pages and I'll use them, and I may, but what I do in this case is cut them right out. Like I wouldn't go back to this book. I just cut it out and use it, say, in one of my rings, but I haven't been using rings, so, okay, so that's gonna bug me. Because it's gonna catch. Scissors. I hope you guys don't mind that I'm doing a second video today. Literally, I just... yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't function, and like at least it gives me a sense of accomplishment, and I'm being completely transparent. So like if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Like I honestly feel like I think I'm going to spend the rest of the day like Bible journaling or something. Somebody's asked me to do some. Let me do some on my own. And I'll show you what I've done, if you don't mind. For me, okay, let me explain why. I go through the Bible perhaps differently than other people do. Okay, I see the Old Testament myself as a history. Yet I never used to. I used to think of it as allegories. And I'm still learning from it. So every time I pick up the book, I fall upon something and I go down like another rabbit hole. I see things. I don't get involved in the topical dramas of the Bible. And I don't fear God. Okay? People say that God is all-fearing, like you should be afraid. I listen to my heart. I listen to my instincts and my heart. And I know I'm kind of going off topic a little bit here, you guys, but ever since I was like young enough to remember, I've had deep instincts of what right and wrong was. And I followed it. Now, maybe that's not true for everybody, but I always knew when I was doing something wrong. And it wasn't because my parents told me it was right and wrong. It's because I absolutely knew. There was always that feeling, okay? My sister was religious, and I, as a child, was like handed over to my grandparents to be taken to Catholic school and like, and I questioned everything, and bad things happened to me. And I don't think that by asking questions, bad things should happen to people, right? So I only say this because when I go into the book, to personally learn, to understand. I didn't have, my parents were not spiritual or religious. My father got spiritual as he got older, but that's a whole other story, you guys. And I found that religion, like, to me, like, we're all just puzzle pieces. Like, we all need each other. Like, so this religion here and this religion here, there might be 2 or 3 other religions, like, snap them all together and then we're one, okay? Because I am of the belief that if you stand for good, you stand in power of other people, whether you know it or not. You stand for God, because God equals good. But again, I'm not here to tell people what to believe. It's not my job. I don't know how I got on that tangent, except that somebody wanted to see me Bible journaling or Bible studying. I could perhaps show you my books when I'm done, but I like to do my studies on my own. And this is why I think a lot of people keep it personal, because your relationship with your higher power, okay, for me, I call that higher power God, but you don't necessarily need to call him God. If that's a higher power, well, you know, that's your relationship. That's the most important relationship you will have ever. So I'm going to hold off on that, but that's what I kind of feel like doing today. And because I listen to my instincts, you know, when I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling like I need to do that. And I'm sorry I've gone on probably like a 10-minute tangent of that. And I apologize. And I just noticed that my phone is sideways. So let's move on, shall we? Okay. And if this topic makes you uncomfortable, I'm not going to apologize for being myself. I do hope you feel safe here. It is non-judgmental. There are certain things I stand for and certain things I will stand up against. It's very important, I believe, that we as a people learn to cooperate on what's socially important and what's socially abhorrent. So that's just my take on it. Here I am in April. I never did check the time, you guys. I stood up to check the time. Okay, 34 minutes. Sorry. But the time was in a different place because I'm charging my phone. This book is basically empty, I'm noticing. Which is really odd. Because this is like... Yeah, I never connected with this book. This whole year has been off for me. It's felt off for me. I've turned it into a sticker book at the end, you guys. So then I went from there, as you know, to here. Okay, I'm not going to linger on this one too much because we've just seen this. We have just seen this, but this is why I couldn't find the book, you guys, because I covered up this pink thingy. That's how thick that got, because it's empty. It's virtually empty. Like this book, this whole book, any blank pages in this book, I will probably come along and just pull them out and use them in a, like a binder system, or if I got to that. Because I'm at the point where I don't need to buy any more paper. I've got more than enough paper. And same with this one. So I really tried to make an effort with this book by trying all different things. And yeah, I could argue the fact that I have. But I could also argue the fact that I did this because the book didn't feel right to me. The whole time, this book didn't feel right to me. So, I am going to put this book in my Alatoni, the brown one. So I always know where it is. And if you've never seen it before, this is how it looks. It's from Hobonichi. You slide it in here. It's very easy to slide in. You could slide in this one here. I'm not going to. But this gives you like spaces. And do I have cards? I thought I had some leftover cards. Hang on a second, you guys. Sorry about my arm. Because in this one, maybe I'll use these two here. Maybe not that one. I did have a block one. Is that it there? Okay, well, we'll take that one. These cards I got from Villa Beautiful. I really like them. And so I'm just going to slide them in here. And you can see, like, they're still brand new. They've got the plastic on them. And then this one can go in that way. There should be another one in there, though. Do I have one that goes that way? There we go. So I need to move one down. Do I have another one? This one? Like that, maybe? Okay. So, and then these, of course, fell. Making a mess, Mel. So at least now I know where it's at, because I looked forever. But look how thin that is. Like, you have a lot of room in here. I'm sure I could put both books in, but there they are. I'm very happy to keep them together because, yeah. I was going to say that's kind of why I was doing the videos of all my stuff, is to track everything. But then I, like an idiot, pulled everything off because, yeah. I say yeah when I don't want to answer, like, the obvious stupidity of some of the things that I do. So I'm just not going to bother. Okay. Now, what I was going to show you next. So this is my A5. We talked about this in my video earlier today. And obviously it's starting to come across. I'm not a skull person, so I wanted to cover that up with this bow on this huge magnet, which, gee whiz, Mel, like, what is going on? So, yeah, something's going on here, but I'm not sure what. But, okay, there we go. Does that work? Okay, so at least I've covered up most of the skull. I'm not into skulls, you guys. So Monique was mentioning go back to my very first book. I wanted to show you guys that. This book held July 2023 and August 2023. 2 months. Okay. Now, let's take a look at it. In here, before I do that, oh shite. What is going on? Okay. In here, everything's kind of coordinated. You see? Although I did like the tabs, but you see it's all coordinated. Every week is coordinated. Okay. In this, I didn't have this many stickers on it to begin with, I remember. And then, like, I had the boot, because it reminded me of the military, right? And then, let me just, I'm wondering, should I take this right out in case I need to look at it? Okay, so then I decided to put paper on this. Now, I do have a video of that, and I might upload it, but not today, you guys. Because already this is my second video. So I followed a lot more of Monique's tricks. I put like a pocket here, vellum in here, so I could change it in and out. I liked the size right off the bat. When I was searching for one book, Monique's name was the only one that came up. She was the only one that did a monthly book. The Stalogy idea for the one book, she was using a standard at the time, was from Dakshana, who uses the B6. I'll tag Dakshana. I don't think I've tagged her for a while, but Dakshana was the one that tuned me on to the Stalogies, and she gets like 3 or 4 months out of them. Her books today, though, are a lot different. Oh, look at this. It's starting to come up. I have some sticky U-tab here. Let's see if I can fix it. Because I've opened and closed this book so many times, you guys, it's not even funny. Okay, there we go. So I put paper on here. Oh, I was talking about Dakshana. So Dakshana takes her books and she gets 3, maybe 4 months out of them. And I wanted to see how far I could go. I got to, here was my journaling. So this right here was August. So this was half astrology, basically, because this is 368 pages. I'm not sure if they actually count the end pages or not, right? But, so half astrology would be a book. But the price makes it so it's not worth it. So I'd rather put 2 months in one book and just pay like $3 more. And you will see in this book that I didn't have special vellums or anything. I used sticker back paper. I had these pockets. I did have calendars. Where did I get this from? Planner Monkey Co. maybe? I used postcards. Cherry blossoms. And I did put paper from my stash. And it looked fine. And then at some point when I'd gone to my daughter's, prior to that I had put on paper, but I didn't account for the spine, so I had to peel it all off. And because I peeled it all off, I had to put stickers all over it. Okay. And then, so this was July 2023. And this was the only book I used. So think about this for a second, guys. I had no other book to touch, just this one. I had a blast. I used old planner books that I had and used the monthlies and just redated them. I'm wondering if I should put something red under here, and if I do, if it's going to drive me nuts. Let's just see. Because it's all like, okay. Does that make it easier or harder? Hopefully easier. And then, yeah, like I was just tipping in papers from books that I had. I did use the AM morning pages, but you see it was up here. Brain dump. I had personal goals. It didn't really work, but the brain dump. This, yeah. I feel like I'm coming home to this book when I see it in this book. More vellum. See, random pick-me pops, random vellum. And then here was my weekly. So morning pages, brain dump, weekly, gratitude, weekly tracker. I even recorded my spending. I was tracking my dozing off because I have like this form of, the other day, if you were watching my video, there was a section there, like, I don't know, maybe 5 seconds, where I was dozing off. And I caught myself and I announced it. Yeah. This is the weekly tracker. I do have personal home goals. I'm not sure if it's needed. More pick-me stuff. I love these guys. They're so cute. And then these are dailies. I did only one day a daily, but what I found was it was like journaling. So I said, okay, well, that can't be. But I had to observe myself. It's like before you put furniture in a room, you honestly need to live in that space for a while to know what furniture you need. And I did do a summary of the week. And then I did some like effective goal setting tools to try, positive affirmations. So I was doing like commonplacing like within the pages. Patience, not perfection. Beautiful memories. My oldest daughter made this card for me 10 years ago. Summer bucket list. Yeah, this book, there was an inbox. Was the inbox for week 2? Inbox. I'm not sure. There's week 3. There's week 1, week 2. Okay, so I had an inbox for each one. Then I tried to clean. So, like, I was chronically changing, learning, emotions, like all of this stuff. Putting in whatever. It was like, however I felt like it. So essentially it was a blank book that I just went along and didn't pre-stress, pre-plan, pre-anything. I just did it. Again, the dailies. This became 2 pages. And again, it was too much because it was like, why am I journaling here? Like, I didn't like that. Okay, so one thing I do remember about this book is, like, I even put, like, packaging, this very thick packaging from Vancouver. I bought my daughter this, not this sticker, but these Clinique items in a backpack, in a back-to-school bundle, and I cut it out and I put it in here. This book definitely is flawed and raw. And yet teaches me so much about myself. Okay, 53 minutes. Now, here's my Christmas book. B6 again. This one is a whole book in a month, but if you can see the back pages, okay, I bet you a lot of those are blank. You see? No? Okay, a good chunk of them are blank. Some faith in here. And then I even had this calendar. And it was in a A5 Moterm folio. But still, there's a lot of blank pages in here. But what I loved about it is that I turned like a book that was going to be like another book, and I made it into like my Christmas book. Simply by, you know, using PET tape and stickers. And I think it was this book that really got me. because to this day I go back to this. Here's my sticker of the day. That is like all things Christmas in a yuck form, if you will. And then look, I even paint it in my books. And I loved it. And then I was putting recipes in here with those, like, see? Plastic things that I showed you earlier, like the pockets. This is when I started doing that. I didn't like how I was doing some of the trackers, but again, that's fine. More like recipes. Yeah, Okie Plans. I don't know why I keep forgetting her name. So these are the two B6s that really fit my style. And when I was talking to Monique, she was like, do you remember when you like painted? Do you remember when you did this? And yeah, and I'm just trying to look now for, I even did like, I cut out these people from a magazine because I was doing a novel in a month, and the month before for NaNoWriMo, and these people I was using in a folder, but then I decided to put them in here. So the characters are Lux, Max, Sammy, Jim, Dob, or is it Bob? I don't know. I can't remember. Farley, Sophie. Okay, I want to find the artwork I did, you guys, because I have let that slide too. So it's there. I know I have more paintings in here. I just have to find it. There we are. So I put pictures of things that brought me joy. Houses, trees. I don't decorate like this. And then I decided to do some art. Now, granted, it's rudimentary. But the fact that I was willing to put it in this book, the book held up, the paper held up. And it's my artwork from 2 years ago, you guys. Like, I don't expect to be over the top with this kind of stuff. I'm quite happy with this. And then overcoming seasonal blues. So this is basically sad, which is what I deal with now. Do things you enjoy, exercise, walking, calming hobby, turn it off, meditation, vitamin D, daylight. Yeah. Songs. Dance Monkey, yes. There's a little girl on Britain's Got Talent. She sings it. She's so cute. She's from Australia. I love that. Anyway, I wanted to show these with you guys because this will be next month's B6. Now, how I've got it, I'm going to change it. Because I've allowed 40 pages a day as opposed to 20. And I think the less is more. This was too much. This was too little. And I really have to protect my energy. And like, that was the first one. The second one I did. This was December, and then by June of 2025, look you guys. And again, I still had to cut paper out of the back. So obviously, I think I've got to go to two months a book. But most of all, what I really want to say is thank you, Monique. You are and always have been the only monthly book I've ever seen on YouTube. And you deserve all the gratitude and thanks and blessings. And folks, I highly encourage you that if you're using her system, tag her, please. Because she's worked 7 years on a system. And I think, I don't know, if I worked 7 years on writing a manuscript and somebody read it and they liked it, I'd like to hear about it. Those are my thoughts for today, you guys. I know that, hey, it's video number 2 and you get it today. But that's because I'm just going through this where I feel like, oh, at least I'm doing something. And I really pray you enjoyed this kind of dedicated video on this. I know I threw in a couple of other things, but like I said, I might be doing multiple videos because it makes me feel better, and I'm going to do what I do. You don't have to watch. I do them for me, which is why I don't monetize them for me yet, ever. I mean, why would I? I could expand on that. I live in Canada, so, but I'm not going to. Okay, so, anyway, guys, remember, we're all perfectly imperfect. You're loved, needed, wanted, far, far more than you will ever know. These books, yeah. But I need to do more art, too. Because art helps me out a lot as well. And I need to get past this, like, point of whatever. And I think, too, like, I'm not big on Halloween. I'm just not. So, like, that could be part of the problem I'm having, too. Like, I'm not big on it. I've never really been big on it. That all being said, you guys, I will talk to you next time. I hope you enjoyed this second video today. Talk to you later. Bye for now.